people, talk about the royals and having sort of exemption from certain things. We saw that, didn't we, with Meghan Markle, remember? During that discussion about whether she assisted with the trashy tabloid book, she claimed she had no idea about it. And then, of course, it was her own assistant, Jason North, that blew the lid on that. That's still an ongoing battle, as one can imagine. What's difficult now, though, is when royals themselves, literally as the phrase goes, drop themselves in it. Where do they stand in the legal minefield that then follows on? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Shaw here. Nice to see you. Hope you're all keeping well. And as ever, fine and dandy. We're promised, I know I keep telling you this, but here in the United Kingdom right now, it may be already into double figures soon in March, but apparently we're going to get snow. Bit of an icy blast. I love the way they describe it, don't you? We're all supposed to be sat around with blankets, blowing into candles. It's almost a bit like Victorian England. The bottom line is, wherever you are in the world, if you're suffering from cold weather or still in the throes of winter, deepest sympathies. I know Australia, you're coming out, I believe now, of your summer. You've had your fun. It's all to come your way now, isn't it? Who's laughing now? Yes. Hang that string bikini back up for another year. What do you mean you can see mine under this shirt? Anyway, back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. As I said, it's interesting with royals because when you think about it, and even ex-minor royals, they seemingly are above the law. Or are they? Even way back, if you recall, with the ex-butler of the late beautiful Princess Diana. That got very near the knuckle, didn't it? Until our late and beautiful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, recalled that she'd loaned him certain things. And we were all rather shocked by that particular story. This particular story that is almost self-harming indeed, because a lot of people have got in touch with this to ask me, what's the background to this, Neil? What's truly happening? And as ever, let me explain. This really all centres upon the fact that the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, decided to reveal all yet again on another live stream. We've seen him many times now, haven't we, talking about his own precarious mental health and the situations. And I love the line, didn't you, that he wasn't in it for his own sympathy. He was there to share with everybody so that people could understand. It's very difficult, and I'm not being unkind when I say this, when rich people want to share their difficulties, because the real difficulties are amongst all of us. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. The bottom line is normally the less fortunate have a lot more to deal with. It's just a fact, isn't it? Now, the bottom line is, in this particular chat, Prince Harry openly discussed his use and was happy about his use of certain alleged recreational drugs. Didn't work out too well. And then, of course, the headlines exploded. Well, where will this leave the visa problem? Because obviously his visa could be revoked. Could it? Now, we got in touch, of course, with the highest level of senior office to say, where would this sit as a person of his stature? Let's not forget, he still remains and will always remain the youngest son of the reigning British monarch. But it's a little bit like Meghan Markle's situation. As I said, anyone else who'd suddenly remembered they'd assisted in that court lie, and it was a lie, she misled the court was the famous phrase. No, she didn't. She just got caught out. But of course, no court, particularly over here in the United Kingdom, wants to get themselves the person who really took on the British monarchy. It's as simple as that. Never happened in hundreds of years. But this is a totally different case over in the United States, simply because Prince Harry has admitted this on tape. This is a rather precarious position now, and they are actively, as one can imagine, looking into his statements. How misguided was this? No one seemingly was telling him that you shouldn't actually claim these particular things, obviously on recordings or indeed live stream events. But for now, I would say to you this. I truly don't believe that his visa will be revoked, simply because, once again, it always appears to be there is one rule for one and one for the other. And while the mainstream people like yourself and I, if we did that on a chat, would have our visas instantly removed, seemingly, if you're royal or indeed associated with the British monarchy, as Prince Harry is, I would say he will receive no more than a slap on the wrist. And he will have been advised this by the lawyer team around him. But isn't it strange, as I say, that he simply can get away with basically advocating the use of highly dangerous hallucinogenic drugs and then basically claim, well, they were good for me, they helped me a lot. Who else amongst us could get away with such statements and still keep our visas? As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below.